Hey guys, so yesterday I had my surgery consult for my chin with the oral and maxillofacial surgeon. I had researched online who I wanted to go see before I had booked this a few months ago, and I definitely picked the right office and the right doctor. He was very kind, he was very knowledgeable. The assistants actually were really cool in the fact that they each of the girls that I met with um, had related to me in some way, so that was really cool too. Let's see what I have my pre-op photos in my lap right now from before I had the chin implant and my nose job, and I will show those to you at the end. I took them in with me when I went to my surgery consult yesterday. What I learned about my face. Basically, my parents weren't aware back when I was like 14 that I actually needed the whole actual jaw surgery. I was in braces and retainers, whatnot, for like 7+ years. And the way that my face developed, and I had no chin. Just everything that was going on there. I was the ideal candidate to have that ortho. I should have googled the word so I didn't mess it up. But it's basically like the orthodontic something rather surgery where they straight up push my jaw forward and whatnot. They didn't know, so I ended up in braces for a very long time, and of course that didn't correct any sort of chin deficiency I had as well. And I learned that when you move teeth, they try to make it center, like with your nose, like a midline. Well, my midline isn't center with my nose. I actually have, according to the X-ray, the left side of my face is longer than the right side of my face. So they just rid my teeth. My midline isn't exactly where it should be, according to my whole facial structure. And that's also why when he stuck an implant in, it looks my implant is incorrectly. Apparently my surgeon didn't do anything wrong. It's just that now you can totally freaking tell that my face is very, like, off center. So getting the sliding genioplasty done, they're actually going to have to, remove the implant, cut the bone, push it forward, and put it into place. But they're also going to have to move my chin line to the left or right, so that it's actually center. So that's fun stuff. And I also asked about the cleft in my chin, and he explained that it's the way my lips come together, and it causes like a little dimple in my face. I hate it. And he said the only way to get rid of that would to go back and have the actual whole surgery, put me in braces all over again, spend all that money all over again, and where I'm going to be 24 in 6 months, and I've already been through all that before, and it's way more expensive than what just getting the chin surgery. It's just like, I hate that little dimple, but I mean, I don't feel like having. Well, first of all, I don't have that kind of money. Second of all, I don't want to put myself through that kind of thing again. So the only way to really get rid of it would be to do Botox, and Botox is sold by, like, the little vial it comes in. It's not by, it's like 20 a pallet or something rather. So it'd be like $300-500 a year to try and get rid of this little dimple, which won't look as bad once I actually have a real chin and not this ugly, like, implant that makes my face look crooked. Like I said, I cried a lot just because it's emotionally damaging to look the way I do for myself. I don't like it. I feel like people stare at me. I feel like people I could have had jobs, and people didn't give them to me because I wasn't like pretty enough, that and the other thing. So just I'm really ready to get it done. So of course I have to get out of debt in the next 2 weeks, and then try and figure out how I'm going to pay for a $5,000 loan. So, surgery is not cheap, especially cosmetic surgery. So I was going to take the time to actually like put these pictures into the video, but I'm lazy and I don't necessarily want to be working on this for like 5 hours, because that's what will happen if I try and take the time to make this like super fancy video. So I'm just going to hold these up and show them and hopefully angle them enough that you can see them. Of course they're printed. They're printed out pictures, so they look pretty shitty anyways, but it's better than nothing, right? So this is what I looked like prior to having a nose job, turn the paper, and a chin implant. Very not cute. If you can tell, I had like a bridge in my nose, a really low septum, and clearly I have no freaking chin. This was from a more forward angle. Just dropping paper, dropping paper. And here's the other side. Very not flattering for a young woman. Now, I totally believe that you shouldn't judge people on how you look. It's after my years of experiencing being bullied and whatnot. And, you know, looking like that person was totally okay, probably for someone else, but for me, that was not what I wanted to look like. I felt that my features weren't very flattering at all. So, what do you know? So anyways, definitely, I really like my nose. I regret nothing about my nose job. And to clarify, I'm not like this plastic surgery freak. I don't know if I said that last video or not. It's not like after I fix my chin, I'm gonna go and like Botox my lips and push my face up. And no, that's not what this is about at all. I just wanted to correct some things that I felt were very unflattering for me, and that's what I've done. So after I had my nose job and my chin implant, I had, you know, your post-op consultation, and I brought to his attention then that I was like, hey, my face looks crooked. You know, what's all this about? And he was just like, oh, it's probably just swelling. Wait, well, 2 years later, my face, it still looks crooked. And it turns out it's because of my whole facial structure, and I needed real surgery. I didn't need a chin implant, and this really sucks, but whatever. So this will kind of show you from side angles. This is mine. See how I still don't have a chin, but like my face is now elongated, which is, and if you put this side by side, I mean, it helped like my neck length, something or other, but it didn't really help. Whatever, it didn't help. So here's where I could totally tell that it was like, hello, my face is totally freaking crooked. And now that I look at that, the dimple in my chin, well, it's still ugly, but it wasn't that bad. And here again. Had I not acknowledged, like I knew, something in me knew my face was crooked, but I put it off, and I shouldn't have put it off for 2+ years. I should have addressed the issue sooner and had him take it out and just called it good. But I didn't, and now I'm dealing with this now. So, that's that. Can't go backwards. And I also had, when I had those pictures sent to me, because I actually contacted the office and was like, hey, I'm going to send you some pictures. This is really ugly. Help me figure it out. So he sent those to me, and then he sent me an actual letter that I wanted where he described everything that he saw with me and what he did for me, which is always good to have. You always should, if you're going to fix something, or I believe everything should be in writing. Of course, who knows what I signed back then, because I was so desperate to fix my face, and I was ignorant back then that I don't know what I signed, where it was probably like, if I don't like my face, he's not going to pay to fix it, whatever. But at least I got a letter saying, you know, he listed everything for me, so the next surgeon knows what he did, which I did show my niece. So that's that. Basically, my best option at this point to get my surgery done is to get a loan, personal loan, whether it's through Care Credit, which is like the newest, biggest thing. I knew about it when I was a dental assistant because we offer it to patients who necessarily couldn't afford, you know, thousands of dollars of dental work right then and there. So, you know, hopefully with my tax return, I'll be out of debt, minus like a school loan and a car loan, but those are kind of essential at this point. It's not like I'll have anything else I owe. I won't have a line of credit anymore. I won't have a personal loan anymore. It'll all be paid off. Credit score goes up. And then I look better for things like this, or another personal loan, which I might have to do. That kind of covers everything of this second. I don't think I missed anything. So, positive experience. Yesterday, even though like I said, I was emotional, I bawled a lot, and I kept referring to my face as deformed, they had to stop me and say, hey, you're not deformed, don't worry about it. People go through this all the time. You know, people have it a lot worse than I do. But even last night, I called myself deformed in conversation. So it's definitely, this has definitely affected me so emotionally and mentally that I can't even take certain words. Not that I can't take them out, but the way I talk about myself is very degrading. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. When we discussed fixing my chin, he's actually going to go down in through my gums and take the chin implant out and do the rest of the surgery, which the chin implant, he actually cut me open extraordinarily and put it in. So I'm going to have two skin-like scars on my chin for the rest of my life. One from running into a coffee table when I was like 5 or something, and the other one from this. But can't really tell anyway. Scars fade and what, I don't even care. I don't care. This is so bad. This is going to sound like I'm a freak on how I look, but my mom has moles, so if I get any of them, I pay to cut them out. I don't like them. So, I mean, I've got little scars all over me, and they fade, and you don't notice them anymore. And hair doesn't grow back around them, so that's really cool, because body hair grosses me out and whatnot, so. An update on my personal life. I had mentioned that I had picked out this really pretty engagement ring. I was so set on this. I was so ready to propose with this thing. And then I got into conversation with my girlfriend, and she was like, well, how much are you spending? And I'm like, well... She's like, no, don't do that. So we had this whole long talk, and we decided that since technically we are these poor young adults and we shouldn't be spending that kind of money on a ring, that we set a budget, a really low, couple $100 budget, which, you know, in an engagement store, a couple $100 is going to get you a decent promise ring. So basically, we need this agreement to get each other these really cheap promise rings. And real. They'll be real. They just won't be like super snazzy like me. I had to pick out, the best clarity and whatnot, but it won't be that dissimilar. But it is much, much smarter. And if I wasn't so dead set on marrying this woman, I would totally put it off like another year or two so that I could have a real wedding with my face all fixed and I'd wear a dress and wouldn't feel all self-conscious. But marry her now, marry her later, we'll probably just renew our vows in like 5 years and then I can wear the dress and feel all pretty. And by that point, both our families know that we were serious when we said we were getting married, and they can sit there and be supportive this time. Other than that, I've kind of given up on having friendships. I had a really bad. It wasn't like a falling out, so it wasn't a fight, but someone said something to me that was really not supportive of my relationship, and I just kind of got to this point in my head where it was like, why do I try and have friends? Because people only ever want to talk to me when they have a problem or they want to brag about their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And it's not really a conversation or having fun anymore. It's just, you are just using me to talk to. And then it was like when I tried to engage in the conversation and match the conversation, you were rude. So I'm just at this point where I'm like, I'm going to be so busy in the next few weeks that I don't have time to deal with that kind of crap. And it's just like, whatever. Who needs friends, right? I mean, too much. I don't know, because I watched, this is, I'm just now, watching the L Word, I know, right? Because, normally that was, the one show every lesbian watched, or, snuff watch, and, that's how they knew they were gay, or what. It was, this opening experience. Whatever you want to say about the L Word back in the day, it was, this big deal. It's on Netflix, and I'm just now watching it, so. And it's here's this group of friends, and it's oh, man, I wish I had friends like that, but just never seems to work out that way. Or maybe there's just 10 times more drama than in that show. So it's just why do I want friends anymore? So I have my internet friends, and that's good enough. You talk to me once every week, and hey, how's it going? Or you show me something really cool, and I'm like, hey, this is cool. Friends for life, internet buddies, yeah. So. Oh, my car got hit by a bus, a school bus. It was parked outside of my complex because you can only have so many cars inside the condos. So I have to park out by the back gate, and that's where the school bus picks up all the kids. And, it's always a great thing when your mom's waking you up and just school bus hit your car. And I'm like, oh, my car I pay a lot of money for that I take really freaking good care of. Fantastic. So yeah, got to go deal with that. And, at first I was really angry. But then I thought about it and I'm like, well, accidents happen. Poor old lady, probably her job was in jeopardy at that point. No kids were hurt. But I mean, my car looks like shit. It's passenger side. Oh man, I wish I had a picture, but it's not that bad, but it's bad enough where it's man, that's my car. Why? Why of all things did that have to happen? But my taillight works, but it's all busted up. Pushed in my nice car that was built nicely is now dented in. And the paint scraped off, and I had a hard time driving it for a few days. I'm like, oh god, this is so embarrassing. Look at this thing. People probably think I hit someone. I didn't do that, you know what I mean? So, and that was 2 weeks ago, and I'm still trying to get that taken care of, which doesn't sound like it's going to go over very easy. Something about them being self-insured, and I'm just oh god, please just pay to fix my car. It's probably going to be a couple $1,000. To bring the plate back out and repaint it and give me a nice new taillight, but at least it's drivable, because if I was out of a drivable car, I'd be really screwed. I drive 40 minutes to work. My school is an hour away. That surgeon's office is like an hour and something away, like an hour and probably like 15 minutes away. So it's like nothing by me is close. That really sucks for me. Another new thing is I finally ordered my iPhone 5S. I've been waiting on that. I was so excited when they came out. But I've been with Sprint, and Sprint is super shitty. I get like no cell service anywhere. The price I'm paying and to be in a contract just wasn't worth it. I mean, the only benefit of Sprint was my like free minutes started at 7 p.m. which was really cool. And they were it was hit and miss with their customer service. Like if I needed an extension, like I'm like, hey, wait, give me another week to get this paid because I don't get paid for a few more days. They're pretty cool about that. But then sometimes they would lie to me and say, yeah, it's full till here. And then it wasn't. And then I'd be getting a text message, we're going to shut off your service. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just talked to someone. So I had some of those, but what do you expect when you're trying to call a call center and you never get the same employee and whatever. So I switched to T-Mobile, and I'm stoked on that because it's 4G, no contract. It's actually $70 a month, but I put in to do the whole pay every month for your iPhone. So I'm paying like $21 more on top of that $70 for unlimited everything. Pay for my iPhone, and that will be here tomorrow. And it's gold, and I'm excited. And like my other phone, my iPhone 4S, I had dropped it twice and never fixed the screen. So even though it worked fine, and I had to get used to it, but the whole back was shattered, the whole front was shattered. It was just a mess. So, and I've had that phone for 2 years, and it hasn't failed me. Like I never had any real problems with that phone. So, Team iPhone forever. I'll have to try and find a case that will actually have some bumper guard on this one, because my luck, I'll drop it and I'm paying for it every month, and then I really won't have a phone at all, and that'll just really piss me off. So I'm gonna have to find a really good case for that. Well, I totally tried to make this video short, and I totally didn't. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope that some of this answered pretty much the basic spectrum of things and gave you an idea of where I started, where I'm going, and I will get back to you guys in a few days. We'll go over whatever I can think of to go over and talk about my super exciting life, because I do so much and I have so much free time and friends and joys and whatnot. So till then, I will see all of you guys later, and thanks for watching if you actually watched this all the way through.